Welcome back everybody. So last week when I was drafting an email to all the producers who've entered the RKC Super Secret Remix competition, it got me thinking about something that's more important than any amount of gear or talent. And that is, everybody, how we deal with the mental challenges that we definitely come across as music makers and music producers. For example, perfectionism, finishing tracks, combating writer's block. But today I want to talk about what I think is the most important, and that is, drumroll please, resilience. Cool, ready? This is the HMS Belfast, a huge ship which stood the test of time, going all the way in the World War, including a tour across the Arctic and the Korean War. She's a constant reminder that I need to be the same, hardcore. If Belfast was a music producer, she'd be the equivalent to Calvin Harris, David Bowie, or Liam Howler. Right, let's get to it. Here's the RKC Resilience Checklist. Number 1, support. When it gets really tough in the studio or I'm feeling super worn out and then I end up thinking, what the hell am I doing with my life? We all need somebody to call, and I call my dad. I used to feel really stupid moaning about the pressures of being a producer and being an artist, but people would say to me, well, you're following your dream, what do you mean? But that doesn't mean to say it's easy and all plain sailing. Whenever I call my dad, no matter how big or small the problem is, he always reassures me that everything will be okay. And you need to find that person that you trust and that will make you feel better no matter what. Number 2, find a producer friend, a music maker friend, or any creative friend that is in a similar boat to you. Knowing that you are not alone is a massive, massive help. I often call some of my buddies who are also doing an artist project, and we can kind of have a big whinge together.
Hey RKC.
Hi Mary babe. Yeah, I'm alright. Pretty stressed though, like no one's watched my last video.
Oh, it's not about the numbers. It's all about guitars. You should really think about getting some more.
And just knowing that you're not the only one in the world going through these crazy feelings is a massive, massive help. Number 3, take social media with a pinch of salt. So social media can be a great place for entering things like remix competitions, but it can also be super disheartening when you see everybody else around you doing so well. Big guns, bragging about what cuts they've had, what releases they've got coming up, just sometimes doesn't make us feel good. But let's be honest, these people haven't appeared from nowhere. They've been working hard behind the scenes and have probably experienced loads of rejection in the run-up to all these posts. Nobody posts emails of people saying, I don't like your tune, it's rubbish, we're not going to release your remix, sorry but the vocal's not good enough, sorry you're not getting any funding for this. We only ever post the high points. Take it all with a pinch of salt everybody, because there's a whole other story behind the screen. Number 4, learn when to walk away. There's a difference between perseverance and forcing it. So if you're like me guys and you're struggling in the studio, you can't get it right and you have a massive producer sulk and want to hide under the bed, it's time to realise you need to stop. What I like to do is leave it, go and do something completely random and different, maybe like take a trip on the HMS Belfast, or perhaps bake a cake. Number 5, motivational books. So this might sound like an obvious thing or pretty cheesy, but I promise you guys, sometimes a good old motivational book can really help. Helps me anyway. So I picked 3 books that I want to share with you, which I think you should definitely read and I think will inspire you to keep going forever. Number 1 is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a which is an amazing book and talks about how social media is crazy and makes us all think that we need to be like these amazing, genius, great people. Number 2, Steal Like an Artist. This is another book that makes you feel like you're doing the right thing and that you're not alone. Loads of good tips in there. And number 3, the ultimate producer book, The Mental Game. Now this is by an Ableton certified trainer called, can't remember his name right now, but here's the book on the screen. This book is amazing and has loads of cool tips and reminds yourself that it's okay to suck sometimes. Number 6, learn to deal with rejection. So learning to deal with rejection, guys, is probably the biggest thing that's going to help you become super resilient in this crazy music industry. And I promise you, I've had my fair shares of no's and rejections. My first managers and I eventually parted ways because all they wanted me to do was write melodies and lyrics over other producers' beats. When I told them no, I want to make the music myself, they pretty much just laughed in my face. But I didn't care, I wanted to prove them wrong, so I used to make my tunes, send them to them, and when they'd all just say they weren't good enough, it made me even more determined to get better and become a better producer. Eventually, I fired them, and here I am today, producing music and releasing music that I love. Bitter and so sore, you don't do no more, you done dinosaur. We also need to remember to not purely focus on the opinions of everybody else and to actually enjoy the process itself, which is something I've definitely struggled with over the years. But I promise you guys, the more you deal with rejection, the stronger you become and the less you give a shit about what anybody thinks. It's a really nice place to be because as long as you're enjoying yourself making the music and you like the tune, that's all that matters in the end. So there we have it, the RKC Resilience Checklist. I really hope you guys can relate to this, and I also hope you enjoy this amazing video tour of the HMS Belfast. Caught up in the excitement of the ship, I actually forgot to film an outro, so here we go, here's a voiceover. Please let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this and if you'd like me to post more videos in this manner. If you haven't already, please subscribe below and hit the notification bell. And also, if you want to get super nerdy, head over to the Patreon for things like Ableton projects, stems and more tutorial videos. Love you very much. See you next week. RKC. Mwah.